Well, hello and welcome to Fab Night in Chatty thing. I haven't got much of a voice, but I am here. It's Wednesday again. Where is that time gone? Crazy, crazy. Come in and say hello. Let me know what kind of a week you've had. Let me know what you're reading. Let me know what you're doing. Have you got any birthdays? Let me know. Let me know. Also, let me know what your drink and snack of choice is as you're watching. You know, I like to know this. Periodically, I ask. So I'm being nosy tonight and I want to know what your drink and snack of choice is as you're watching the show. If you're watching back on YouTube now, we're on YouTube, then hello, welcome, enjoy. Keep watching for a chance to win a lovely giveaway, which is not affiliated with Facebook, YouTube, or anything else. It's just me. So keep watching. I also have 3 gorgeous books of the week, and I have chapter 3 of the Book Warriors, which is my kind of crazy bookshop book that I am finishing in the next few months, and I'm going to send it off to publishers, so we'll see how we go. Mina Kamari's here. Hello, lovely to see you. Catherine Statham's here. Hello, lovely to see you. Do come in, do come in. I'll tell you all about my week, what I'm up to, all kinds of stuff. But yes, come in, tell me, what are you reading at the moment? Lots of new books coming out in the next, well, because we're almost in February, aren't we? So start of February, there's some amazing books coming out. February and March look fantastic for new books. So are there books that you're looking forward to? What books are you reading? Have you got some on your kind of wish list? Let me know. I'm just being nosy. You know me. I'm always being nosy. It's all good. It's all good. 3 beautiful books. I have 2 debuts and one by one of my all-time favourite authors who is an absolute master of her craft. So total treat for you on the Books of the Week front. Going to be a giveaway as well. So keep watching for your chance to win. And all kinds of lovely things. So let me know, let me know. Amanda Weatherly's here. Hi, lovely to see you. Hi, Amanda and all chatty things, party people, we are. I've just finished reading Exiles by Jane Harper. Oh, I've heard good things. It was brilliant. I couldn't put it down. Fantastic. Lovely. Jodie Homer's here. Hi, lovely to see you. Rachel Vincent's here. Hello. Good evening, everyone. This week's book is The Fine Art of Uncanny Prediction by Robert Goddard. It's really, what a great title. That's just the title alone makes me want to read that book. I hope you're enjoying it. It's really good. Fantastic. Mina Kamara's just finished reading Finding Home in Hartfell by Suzanne Snow. We love Suzanne Snow. There's lots of fans of Suzanne Snow that watch the show every week. So hello to everybody who loves those books. Hope you've enjoyed it. Looks amazing. Lovely Mr. Mick Arnold is in the house today. Thank you very much for your lovely posts and tweets, Mick. Very much appreciated as ever. And in your lovely red shirt. Because I look at everybody's profile pictures and Mick is there in his red shirt and it looks great. Let's have a look. Jodie Holmes says, I'm in a reading slump. I can't finish anything. Well, maybe you'll get some ideas from what other people are reading. I find that sometimes if I'm not sure what to read, come on and ask you guys on a Wednesday. And then I've got a whole list of books that I can go and check out. It's all good. Well, I hope the reading slump abates and you find some good books. Maybe there'll be some good books in the Books of the Week that you want to read. So we'll see. Lovely Lynn Dyer's here. Hello, lovely to see you. She says, hi all. I've just finished Lucinda Riley, The Hidden Girl. Brilliant book. That looks amazing. I haven't read it, but I do love Lucinda Riley. So amazing. Mick Arnold, wash your mouth out with soap. That's not what I always say. We love Mick Arnold. Mick Arnold looks fantastic all together. It's just that I see the red shirt first. I am slightly short-sighted. So, but look, your lovely face, Mick. You've got a lovely face. Stop it. All good. Fantastic. Do come in. 3 gorgeous books of the week this week. Chapter 3 of the Book Warriors. We're going to meet Josie, who is one of the Frieslings, one of the kids who've turned up without a ticket for the midnight book launch and bookshop lock-in to celebrate K.M. Sampson's surprise 8th book in the series. We're going to meet her and we're going to meet the gang who are all outside desperately hoping that somebody sent a ticket back. We're going to find out what happens and if they can get into the bookshop. Wait and see. Samira Sheen's just here. Hello, lovely to see you. She says, hi all. Currently reading Rochester Place by Iris Costello. A fantastic book. Well, enjoy. So good. Katie Wells is here. Hello. Hi all. I'm reading Christmas Tree Farm. Oh, well. See, let me know how you get on with that one. But I've started my MA in creative writing. Congratulations. So it's on hold till I finish my homework. I think books can be effective kind of carrots on sticks, can't they, when you're when you got to do work. I have that book that I showed you. I think it was last week. I showed you Sue Lin Tan's book, Immortal. That's mine. When I finish, I have two lots of structural edits now. I've got structural edits on book 15, which is going to be coming out in August, and I've got structural edits now on Chorus 6 as well. They've both going to be happening at the same time as ever. So yeah, that's waiting for me. That's just sat there looking all beautiful and going, you can read me when you finish. All good, all good. Well, congratulations on the MA in creative writing. Fantastic. It's going to be so good. Enjoy, enjoy. Alice and Sarah Carroll's here. Hello, lovely to see you. She says, I'm watching the football game, Celtic against Aston Villa. Now I have to claim that I am Switzerland in this because Bob is a massive Aston Villa fan. So I will just say, I hope that it's a great match for everybody involved. That's okay. I think that's okay. All good, all good. Do come in, do come in. Lots of lovely people are coming in. It's all good. I can't believe it's a week since last week. Where has that week gone? Crazy. All good, all good. Gemma Harrison has. Hello. Hello, everyone. Finally, I'm in. Do you know what? Facebook had to really think about letting me in again today. I don't know why. You think they'd know us by now, wouldn't you? All good, all good. Victoria Lister's here. Hello, lovely to see you. Do come in. 3 gorgeous books of the week for you. Chapter 3 of Book Warriors and a giveaway. I'm packing it all in. I'm packing all the goodies in with this show. So keep watching to find out how you can win a very lovely, well, hopefully you think it's a very lovely prize. We'll see, we'll see. All good, all good. Mick is currently reading Murder on the Cornish Coast by the wonderful Helena Dickinson. And if you've not read, now if you love your kind of golden age crime, you need to check out Helena Dickinson. It's Nell Dickinson who writes as Helena Dickinson. And all of her books are fantastic. They have such a lovely feel to them and they're brilliant. Very, very twisty. You'll never guess the ending. But all of the characters are fantastic. So check out, if you haven't already, check out Helena Dickinson's books because they are so, so good. Alison's a massive Celtic fan. Well, there you go. That's why I'm being very neutral about this because I can't go against Bob, but then at the same time, I'm not really a football fan. So it's all good. Yeah, it's all good. Although I must say that when Bob and I got married, I did have Aston Villa coloured shoes for him. He didn't know. I had purple velvet shoes with blue ribbons to look like Aston Villa colours. So technically, I walked down the aisle in Aston Villa colours, but only for Bob and only as a surprise. So good, so good. Let's have a look. Catherine Statham's here. Hello. She says, I'm reading Date with Destiny by Lucy Vine. It's very good. We love Lucy Vine. Fantastic. Andrea Davis is here. Hello, lovely to see you. Erin Kathleen Williamson's here. Hi, hi. She says, hi, Miranda. I hope you're all well. Currently reading A Sky Full of Stars by Sue Moorcroft. What a lovely book. Fantastic. First in the series as well. I think there's going to be 3 at least in that series. So it's all very, very good. Mick Arnold says, oh, right, okay. No spoilers, but Mick is watching the match too. I don't know. Mick, do you have any particular affiliation with either of the sides? Let me know. Who knew that we'd be having football commentary at Chatty thing? Is it like the most, the sort of the least obvious thing that ever I would do? Because I'm never going to make a sports commentator. Although I do think that when I watch the football with Bob, I always end up kind of like, I'm quite funny when I watch it. So I think there should be like alternate commentary for people who actually aren't that bothered about the football. Because I always work out people that the main players look like. I'm always like, he looks like. All good fun. Yeah, that's why I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to be a sports commentator for that reason. But enjoy. I hope it's a good game. And Livy, thank you for watching the game and joining us at Chatty thing. That's the best kind of multitasking you could possibly do, which is all good, all good. Let's have a look. Jodie says, Miranda, do you have the issue of not having a photo of yourself for pages and groups when someone asks for something to do with your books? I don't have any photos of just me. All the photos that you see of me, apart from the one, there's one where I'm reading a copy of Somewhere Beyond the Sea. That was taken by a very good friend of mine who's a photographer. But all the other ones that you see of me, yeah, especially like my MJ White one, they're all selfies. I just do a selfie and then I send that to people. So it's like It's the only thing I can do because trying to get a photographer to take a photo of you is really tricky. So a lot of the time, a lot of the photos that you see of me when, they say, here's author Miranda Dickinson is turning up to do something, it's just a selfie. So that's a top tip as well. And also you can, because when other people take photos of me, I can look quite weird. So at least if I can take my own photo, I feel a bit better, I feel a bit more in control. But yeah, I don't have many professional photos at all, just do myself. So good, so good. Mikhail says, all my relations are from the Black Country. Woohoo! There's the best part of the world, obviously. So Villa, really, yes, we love Villa. See, I grew up in Dudley, and so you have Wolverhampton Wanderers fans, so Wolves fans, and you have West Bromwich Albion fans, or the Baggies. So you're either a Wolves fan or a Baggies. So I used to say when I was at school that I supported Aston Villa because it was kind of acceptable to both sides. But I mean, there's even now around here in Dudley, there are some pubs you don't go in if you support one of the other team. It's like it's properly, yeah. So I think that's why when I was a kid, I was like, no, I'm not getting involved. That's fine. I'm not doing it. Mick Arnold says, my lady wife took my author one. It's a very lovely photo. So there you go. All good, all good. Carl Tedeschi's here. Hello, lovely to see you. He says, oh, Jane Harper is a brilliant book. Another vote for Jane Harper, who's amazing. So good, so good. Her books, all the books, the Jane Harper books that I've read have all been absolutely brilliant. So good, so good. Mick used to watch Walsall. Lovely Walsall. So good. I think technically I'm probably a Glass Boys fan, which is Stourbridge United, because I lived in Stourbridge for quite a few years. So that's probably the closest one. Jem says, my mum is a photographer. So when the time comes where I need a photo, I've got a professional on standby. There we go. Talking apropos of nothing. I know that we have lots of writers watching the show who aren't yet published. Have you seen that Avon Books are opening their submissions? They're opening them, I think, from now till the end of March. And they're looking for full manuscripts. So if you have finished a commercial fiction book, so a crime or a romance or a psych thriller, and you have a first draft done, have a look at Avon Books. You can look at Avon Books. They're on Facebook as Avon Books UK, and I think they're Avon Books UK across social media. But go and have a look, because they are looking for, it's open submissions and you don't need to have an agent. So the lovely writers who I know watch the show, if you have a book that's already finished, if you have a full manuscript, send it to them, because Avon were the imprint that discovered me on autonomy. I wouldn't be an author today if it wasn't for them, and they are lovely. So why not give it a go? Because you never know. If you've got a finished book, send it to them. Check out their page for all the details. But they are absolutely amazing. Yeah, Jem, I thought you might run. Amazing. I think, let me just see if I can tag them in here. Check out. If it's your first time watching, this is how technical we are. Check out Avon Books UK for details of. Oh, I can't type. Anyway, there, open submission. Right, so if you check in the comments, oh, was it tagged it? It has tagged them. Right, so if you check in the comments, where I've put Avon Books UK, if you click on that, it will take you to the page, or bookmark that page. That's where you need to go. So if you have a full manuscript, so you've written a first draft at least, but so it goes from the beginning to the end and it's got everything in, they have got an open submission. Now, they took on what became Fairy Tale of New York, and I have a career today because of the lovely people at Avon Books, and they are brilliant at building careers. And you don't have to have an agent, because a lot of places are like, your agent's got to submit to us. The only time that Avon accept stories that come from people that don't have agents is now in this open submission window. So take advantage of it and send it in, because it'd be lovely. It'd be so lovely if Chatty Thing Viewers then got published. I think that's fantastic. So if it happens for me, it's totally possible to happen for you. So if you've got a book ready to go and check it out. Go and check it out. Lovely Judith Graham's in the house. Hello. Not late, just forgot to press the send button. Oh, she's been here all along. Hello. Lovely to see you, Judith. Do come in. You're already here already. Amazing. So good. Carl Tedeschi said The Dry by Jane Harper is brilliant. No, it's such a good book. So good, so good. Amazing. Mick said tempted regarding Avon. I have one out in submission, which I'm waiting to hear. Just send it. Just send it. Send it, Mick. Because then technically we'd be like, because even though like they've done Fairy Tale of New York, there's a possibility that they may be doing that we might look at other books that I've already written for them that might be reissued. I don't know yet. It's all very kind of up in the air. But yes, do it because they are so lovely. And they really support kind of new authors, and it's really hard to get into publishing, but they make it easy with this open submission. They make it easier. They give an option for people to come in. So go and check it out. Go and check it out. Mick, do it. Jem, do it. We try and get as many Avon authors as possible in the viewers. It would be great. So good. Vanessa Brett's here. Hello, lovely to see you. A bit late to the party. Don't worry. I've just been nattering, Vanessa. You've not missed anything. It's fine. Let's have a look. Okay, so Mick said, 1st to the 31st of March. Okay, so bookmark it. Get polishing your books and send them in. I just saw it today, so I thought it was coming up. Let's have a look. Christine Maps here. Hello, lovely to see you. She said, evening, late again. Got carried away ironing and making the bed. Anytime you want to, I think that's amazing. That's always the thing. They're the two things that I forget. So, anytime you want to come and get carried away, do my ironing, you're fine. I don't have much ironing, to be fair. All good, all good. Let's have a look. Okay, so it's the 1st to the 31st of March is the Avon submission. This is me jumping the gun, but hey, you've got warning now, right? You've got a month to get it all lovely and sorted and brilliant. They are so good. So yeah, if you've got a book, or if you've almost got a book finished, maybe get it finished in February. Send it to them between the 1st and 31st of March. Who knows what could happen? So good, so good. They take on new people every single year, and it's great. Let's have a look. Judy said, I went to a book signing on Monday night. You went to Lisa Jewell and Alice Feeney. A really good evening. Yeah, Alice Feeney's new book is coming. I think Lisa Jill's got a new book as well, actually, coming out. They both look fantastic. So, lovely. Well, I hope it was good. It looked really good. All the photos that I saw online look really good. So good, so good. Let's have a look. Jodie said I might have a read, but I'm happy self-pubbing. That's absolutely fine. I just mentioned, I'm going to try and mention as many, if things come up like that this year, I'm going to mention it because I know that there's lots of people that are writing. So sometimes just somebody telling you about it. Like I found out about Autonomy, which was the website that my book was found on, that what became Fairy Tale of New York. And I only found out because somebody in a writer's forum said, go and check out this site. They're accepting submissions, and it was like, oh, okay. So that's what I'm going to do this year. If I see any, I will let you know. Let's have a look. Carl Tedeschi, I didn't realise you were Dudley born. Dudley born myself. I had the same choice. Went for the old gold and black. It's very nice. I just tried to stay neutral. I mean, my dad was a Leeds United fan, so I have no affiliations whatsoever. But it's all good. It's all good. Fantastic. Okay, Flo will be with us very shortly. Then I have my amazing 3 books of the week. And then I've got chapter 3 of the Book Warriors. We're going to meet Josie, who's brilliant. I love Josie. She's amazing. Let's have a look. Mick, on behalf of us all, thanks for letting us know. It's important. This is what happened for me. If it happens for me, it can happen for you. Totally possible. You never know what's going to happen. When I had an email from an editor at Avon when I was on Autonomy, and I thought it was a scam because I'd never heard of Avon books. So, different now because they're everywhere. But yeah, and that launched my career. And I was talking last night. I got to talk last night to a book and pudding club. Who knew? This is such a brilliant idea. It's affiliated to the Book Tasters UK. And the idea is that you get together in a little cafe and you talk about books. And then you have pudding. Yeah, they're the most gorgeous cake and coffee, and everyone gets together. And it was brilliant. And he asked me to go. It was just up the road in Quarry Bank, so I went there last night. And it was so much fun. Talked to everybody about my books. It was absolutely fantastic. And it was funny because I was telling my story about how I got published, and which is kind of what I start with at everything, and then ask people questions. And there's always secret writers in the room, and I can tell. I don't ever ask them to put their hand up because it's like, you can say secret writers in the room and you see everyone going, like, don't look at me. But yeah, I was telling my story and remembering just how completely random it was. I didn't think, even when they requested the full manuscript and I sent it off, I didn't think I'd ever hear anything about it. And then 2 weeks later, I was offered a 3-book deal. And I was thinking, I've only got 2 ideas. I mean, all of that stuff. My life changed overnight. I had no idea kind of what was happening for me. And I'm in my 16th year of writing now. So it's totally possible. And I think all of the publishers that are doing a lot to try and get new writers in and to open doors for new writers. I mean, I'm from a working class background from Dudley. I didn't know anybody else who wrote. Of course, now we know amazing authors like Angela Marston's, who's just sold millions and millions of books, is from Dudley. But I didn't know anybody from Dudley when they offered me a book deal. So it was really weird. And, you know, all of these things changing overnight. But to see all the opportunities now is fantastic. People, self-publishing is so much better than it was when I first started. And loads of people kind of making a name for themselves. And it's fantastic. So I think the more writers we can get, the better. And it shouldn't just be people in central London. I think it should be everywhere because we're all readers and we all want to read about it. So it's all good. Let's have a look. Jem says, I miss autonomy. I came very close on there. Pesky editorial team changes put pay to. You see, like I didn't. Oh, Mick said, I remember about you on autonomy. Yeah. I was a poster girl for it for quite a long time. And then it sort of died a death, unfortunately, because it was at the time, it was this really lovely time when there were lots of lovely online initiatives before you then got people like gaming the system and sock puppets and trolls and all that sort of stuff. It was just before all that stuff happened. But yeah, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. So there you go. All good, all good. Rachel said, Book and Pudding Club sounds great. It's great. So it started in lockdown and it was an online thing. And then after lockdown, they started with these little clubs. And there's more that are joining them all the time. It's just such a lovely way to spend a night, you know, just talking about books, hanging out with lots of lovely people. They were all really welcoming as well. Lots of people that came in who were kind of like by themselves as well, but they were just welcomed in. Everyone sits together and they had really like lovely coffee. I mean, it's a good thing if I turn up for a book event and I get given a really nice coffee, I feel like I'm at home and it's all right. But yeah, beautiful cake, lots of chat. They have a book that they discuss every month and then they vote on what the next book's going to be. It's just brilliant. Really good. So yeah, if you can find one near you, it's Book Tasters UK. It's worth having a chat because I'd go to that. If it wasn't for the fact that I have about 5 books to finish, I would go to that and it's amazing. Hello, Florence Trent. Do come and say, what have you brought for us today? What is this?
This is unfinished cosplay wings.
So are these dragon wings? Let me hold them up so everyone can see. This is Florence. If you haven't watched the show before, this is my daughter Flo. And Flo likes making things out of tissue paper. This is the biggest thing you've made so far.
Yes.
Yeah? Look at these wings. How amazing is that? So good. How you doing, Flo? You all right? Yeah?
Yes, I've made Luxray's head and body.
Amazing. I was just telling everybody about the Book and Pudding Club we went to yesterday. What did you think?
It was scrummy.
It was scrummy. How good. Books and pudding. What's not to love, right?
Yeah. And I was reading books the entire time because I had no idea what anyone was talking
about. You
took
some books with you. Which books did you take with you?
Bonnie vs. Monkey and Nushkin.
Who were both by?
Jamie Smart.
Jamie Smart. Fantastic. All good. Everyone's saying hi. Say hi, Rachel. Hi. Say hi, Mick. Hi. Oh, we're tired because I kept her out late last night. Say hi, Mina. Say hi, Amanda. Hi. So good, so good. Suzanne Snow's here. Hello, lovely to see you. There's lots of fans watching the show tonight, Suzanne. Amazing. Lovely to see you and congratulations on the new book as well. So good, so good. All good. See, everyone pops in. Everyone pops in to say hello on a Wednesday. It's lovely. So good, so good. What are we reading at the moment for bedtime?
Loki.
Loki by Louis Stowell, and it's great, isn't it? You live in it. It's very funny. We're getting to kind of like the exciting bit at the end now, aren't we? It's not like we've got about that much left. We're doing it as bedtime story.
Yeah.
Shall I let you go and have a rest?
Yeah, I need to go down and finish.
Okay, so don't tread on your wings. Things you never think you're going to say to your daughter. Amazing.
I'm making something right now, actually.
So good. We'll have to tell everybody about it next week.
Yeah, I'll bring it up next week.
Hey, bring it up and show us next week. We'd love to see it. Say see you next week.
See you next week.
See you next week. Short but sweet. Flo likes to come up and say hello. So this show started in lockdown, and on the very first one, Flo came to say hello, and so it's kind of become a bit of a tradition. And we find out what she's been working on. So there you go. Heaven only knows how big the rest of the costume's going to be if that's one wing. But it's all good. It's all good. Let's see. Let's see. So good. So good. Thank you for your lovely messages for Flo. Let's have a look. Victoria says, my son wants to know if you're going to Waterstones Wolverhampton again in the summer. I hope so. At the moment, book 15 is due out kind of the end of August. So it's going to be the 28th, I think, at the moment. I don't know if that's going to be where it, like the actual finish date, but hopefully, lovely Mark and the team will invite me back. But I'll let you know nearer the time. Let's see. Hoping to do another book launch there, but we'll wait and see. And there'll definitely be a book launch for Chorus 6. At the moment, it says online that it's going to be in August, but it looks more likely it's going to be November. So we'll see how the edits go. As soon as I've got any information, I'll let you know. We have got a cover. We have finally, I think, got a title. So I'm waiting for the finished cover and the title, and then we're going to launch it live on Chatty Thing. So in the next few weeks, I don't know when, I'm waiting for confirmation from Hera. But as soon as I know, we'll do it, and we'll do it on a Wednesday night. So you guys get to see it first. So it's all good. It's all good. Fantastic. I am going to have a slurp of my tea. My big mug. Someone was asking where this was from. And I said, this is a Cornish ware mug. This is the 15-ounce one. And the reason that I get the big one is because very often when I'm writing, I have a drink next to me. And of course, it's always cold by the time I get to it. But I like a big drink when I'm writing. So there you go. So good. Thanks for your lovely messages for Flo. That's so nice. It's very kind, Alison. Thank you. Flo's a talented girl. She is. She is. Yeah, cosplay is the new thing. We're just I'm going to need to either get a film deal or win the lottery to get a bigger house, because I don't know where we're going to put all the stuff, but it's all good. It's all good. Right. Let me get on to my books of the week. I have 3 beautiful books of the week. I have 2 that are proofs, one that's coming out next month, one that's coming out in March, and then I have one that is out right now and is everywhere, but I'm like the last person to the party on it, but I have absolutely fallen in love. It's my favourite book of 2025 so far. And I know it's early days because it's January, right? But so far it's the first one that I've read that I've absolutely I just loved every single page and want to tell you about. So let me go on to my books of the week. Book number 1, you will have seen this everywhere, is this absolute beauty. The List of Suspicious Things by Jenny Godfrey. This is the Tickle Pink edition from Asda because it's pink. It's very pink. It's all good. It's all good. Now, you will have seen this. I'm sure you'll have seen this. I think it's a Waterstones Book of the Month. Everybody who's reviewed it has absolutely fallen in love with it. And it's one of those ones that was like, I'm going to get around to reading that and that'll be great. And on Monday, I had to take my car into the garage and then go and pick Flo up from school. And it was really, really raining and I didn't have an umbrella. So I went into Asda and I saw it and I was like, right, I'm going to treat myself to this book. And I sat and read it. Hiding from the rain before I had to go and pick Flo up. I started reading and I read about 40 pages in one go. This book is absolutely gorgeous. The List of Suspicious Things by Jenny Godfrey. You will see it everywhere. It's just fantastic. Now, sometimes when you see lots of people talking about a book, you can kind of think, oh, surely not everybody loves it. Like, is it as good as everybody says? Believe you me, it is. This is such a brilliant book. It's such a brilliant idea for a book. It's set at a time that's kind of like I can remember, so I feel like nostalgic, old lady that I am. I feel very nostalgic for it, but set against one of the scariest times in recent living memory. But it's written from a kind of a young person's point of view, so it's this an odd amount of hope in the middle of everything else that's going on. It's brilliant. Let me read you the blurb of The List of Suspicious Things by Jenny Godfrey. Maggie Thatcher is Prime Minister, drainpipe jeans are in, and Miv is convinced that her dad wants to move their family down south because of the murders. Leaving Yorkshire and her best friend Sharon simply isn't an option, so Miv and Sharon decide to make a list of all the suspicious people and things down their street, people they know, people they don't. but their search for the truth reveals more secrets in their neighbourhood, within their families, and between each other than they ever thought possible. What if the real mystery Miv needs to solve is the one that is much closer to home? So it's set in Yorkshire at the time that Margaret Thatcher became Prime Minister. So you have all the issues with the miners and the strikes and things like that. You also have, it's set against the time when the Yorkshire Ripper was at large. And so if you looked at those things on a list, you wouldn't imagine that you could get a charming story out of it, but you absolutely can. So it's part mystery. It's part kind of like historical thing, because historical, that makes me sound really old, but it's set at a time that you can picture everything that's there. I mean, even down to what they're eating and what the carpets look like and all of that stuff. There's so much detail that's in it. But at the heart of it, it's a story about a girl who's just sort of scared about life, but then is determined to do something about it. She's absolutely brilliant. It's beautifully written. I think it's a debut novel. Is it? Let me just check and see. It is a debut novel. It has all of the love and the sparkle and the, oh my life, I have to write this story of a debut novel, but it's written by someone who absolutely understands humour and the rhythm of language and beautiful characters. And you can imagine those characters. I mean, I was brought up in the Midlands, but all my family are from Yorkshire, and so I could hear everybody's voices right from the first page, and it makes it totally compelling to read. It reminded me very much of The Trouble with Goats and Sheep by Joanna Cannon, which was set in the 70s. But the similar sort of thing, that you have it from a kind of a child's or a young person's perspective, to sort of try and make sense of the world. So they're trying to make sense of their own world while there's lots of other stuff going on as well. And this idea that there's lots of stuff happening in the area and in the families and even between friends. So as they set out to do this, so that just literally so that she can stay where she is and she doesn't have to move away from home and she doesn't have to leave her best friend. But then it's kind of like a coming of age novel as well. It has all of those things in. What I will say is just it's written with so much heart. Now, as an author, I absolutely love that, because that's the kind of thing, the reason that you start writing is because there's a story that you totally fall in love with and you have to write it down. And this is that kind of a story. But it doesn't read like a debut novel because it has so much beautiful world building and fantastic characters, and it's funny and it's scary and everything all together. It's just such a wonderful book. And I know, guys, I'm just joining the throng of people that are telling you things you probably already know. I know lots of you will have read it already. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is out now in paperback. So this is the Asda version, but it's from independent bookshops as well. I think it's out in paperback, ebook and audiobook. I would imagine the audiobook is fantastic as well. So that is book number 1, the absolutely gorgeous List of Suspicious Things by Jenny Godfrey. And I will say as well, after having read this, Jenny Godfrey is going to be an author that I'm going to read everything that she writes, because it's just wonderful. So there you go. That is book number 1. I told you I'm going to squeak about them this week. They're all fantastic books. But yes, I have totally fallen for Miv and Sharon and their story. It's absolutely wonderful. Let's have a look. Chrissy Map loves it. Amazing. So good. Jem says, I've heard so many good things. I need a trip to the bookshop. Methinks, yeah. I mean, I got it on my list of things I wanted to buy, but it was just serendipity that on Monday got stuck in a rainstorm. I'm like, well, oh dear, I've got stuck in a rainstorm inside Asda, and there's a book department, and this is there, and I want to read it. Definitely add it to your TBR list, Rachel. It is fantastic. It's absolutely wonderful. Carl says the List of Suspicious Things sounds great. It is. It's charming and it's funny, and it's a proper mystery as well, and there's loads of twists and turns you don't see coming. But it's almost like, I think this very much when you're writing a first book, you don't write it to a market. There's no point doing that. You write the book that the story won't leave you alone, and that feels like that. It just feels so fresh and written with so much love. I think just gonna love it. So if you haven't got it on your list yet, pop it on your list, because it is absolutely brilliant. Right. Whew, that's just one book of 3. Are we ready for book 2? Book number 2 is by one of my all-time favourite authors. She gets better and better with every book. I mean, she's already amazing. She gets even more amazing with every book. When you say better and better, it sounds like, Well, you know, she's improving. I don't mean that at all. I mean that every book is amazing and you think she can't possibly write anything that will grip you more than the previous book. And then she does it every single time. She's an absolute master of what she writes. It is this beauty. Give Him to Me by Dorothy Coombson. This is coming out in February. Let me see if I've got the actual date. If it just says February on it. February the 13th, day before Valentine's Day. So if you want to read a thriller for Valentine's Day, it doesn't have any Valentine's Day in it, but it's absolutely brilliant. So this is a kind of a psychological thriller. It's an out and out thriller. You will lose your breath, which is what always happens when you read a Dorothy Coombson book, particularly the last third. You to leave yourself a little post-it note that says "Remember to breathe" because it's absolutely fantastic. So we've got profiler and therapist Dr. Kez Lanyon is back in a shocking new case. Let me read you the blurb of Give Him to Me. Go. I'll show you that wonderful cover. Very good cover. Avril Managa was 12 when she witnessed her controlling and abusive father murder her mother. Rather than go to prison, her well-connected father was put into witness protection with a new name and a raised background. Avril was put into care. Now in her 20s, Avril has decided it's time for a family reunion, so is killing everyone who had anything to do with her father's case and leaving the note, "Give him to me," on the bodies. Dr. Kez Lanyon's job is to get into Avril's mind before she strikes again. But is Avril's case as simple as it seems? And is Kez about to become one of Avril's victims? So Dr. Kez Lanyon was originally in Every Smile You Fake, which I loved. So it's lovely to have her back. And it's just absolutely... I'm not going to give away any spoilers. All I will say is I love stories where you get to see two perspectives. So you get to see the perspective of the person who is looking for this person that's murdering people, and then you also get to see the perspective of the person who's doing the killing. And it's absolutely stunning. It's stunningly written. I promise that you will rip through it. It looks very big. It really isn't. You will absolutely race through it because Dorothy has such a way of grabbing you. She is the kind of writer that you get to kind of 10 o'clock at night and then you look and go, oh, there's not many pages in the next chapter. I'll just read that next chapter. And then before you know it, it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're still reading, and it's amazing. Absolutely brilliant. I'm not going to give anything else away about the story except to say it's such a brilliant idea for a psych thriller. It's a cat and mouse. There's hidden secrets. It tackles some very deep subjects. So be warned if that is something that you would find difficult to read. Be aware of that. But the way that she handles it is so beautifully done. I don't know if you can say, you don't expect to say that a psychological thriller is beautiful, but this is gorgeously thought up, absolutely gorgeously written, brilliant characters, and it's totally compelling. So that is book number 2, Give Him to Me by Dorothy Coombson. It is out on the 13th of February, so you can pre-order it now. There we go. So good. Let's have a look. Alison says Dorothy Coombson is a great writer. She so is. Katie Wells says love Dorothy Coombson books. Yes. Let's have a look. Mick says, is this a serious book or cozy? Which, I don't know which one we're talking about. This one is, that's not a cozy book. List of Suspicious Things. I don't think it's more like I say, it's more like Joanna Cannon's first book, The Trouble with Goats and Sheep. So it's kind of charming, but then there's an edge to it. There's the reality of what was happening in Yorkshire. There's kind of the fear that the communities lived in because he'd been at large. Peter Sutcliffe had been at large for ages. Nobody knew who he was and nobody knew where he was going to strike next. And it was really, really scary time. So I think it doesn't shy away from the gritty side of things, but then it has this lovely charming core to it as well. So I wouldn't say it's cozy crime at all. But it's a story that has a real edge to it, but told with a really charming main character. That makes sense. So good. Let's have a look. Let's see. Mick said the second. No, that's not a cozy thriller. No, but it's absolutely brilliant. You love it. Right. Okay. Book number 3. Now, I showed you book number 3. First show back in the start of the year. I showed you it because I'd had it to proof. I have now finished it. It's brilliant. This book here, I showed you this one before. Every book tells a story. Every heart hides a secret. This is out on the 13th of March. So, Dorothy's is out on the 13th of February. List of Suspicious Things by Jenny Godfrey. It's out now. This one is coming out on the 13th of March, 2025. And it's called The Lamplighters Bookshop by Sophie Austin. It's being published by HarperCollins. It's absolutely brilliant. It says, and it's a big claim, the page turner every book lover needs this year. Ooh, now, let me read you the blurb of this book. Now, this is a proof copy, but what lovely artwork. You just know it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Let me read you the blurb. Okay, so I'll hold that up so you can see it there. There we go. When Evelyn Seaton answers an advertisement for an assistant at a forgotten bookshop in York, she is not the only one with something to hide. There she meets the enigmatic and prickly William Morton, an aspiring writer keeping secrets of his own. But when the walls of Evelyn's carefully built defences start to crumble, there is only one person she can turn to. As the layers are brushed away, can Evelyn and William find the courage to write the next chapter of their story? Now, how do you explain this book? There are so many things. I mean, it's kind of the thing with the letter that came with it. Sort of lists the tropes that are in it, and I kind of get why publishers do that, but I think it lessens the impact of the book. All you need to know is that this is a gorgeous story. If you love books, you'll love this story. If you love kind of people finding the way to each other, and kind of people who might not get on to begin with, who then maybe fall in love, you'll love it. It has kind of a real magical feeling to it as well. So it's kind of sort of a historical book, but not. Sort of a magical book, but not. It has a bit of everything in. The main thing you need to know is it's beautifully written. Evelyn is a fantastic main character, and the scenes between her and William are very, very interesting. How it's done, how it's put together. It's a proper story to lose yourself in. I love the idea of a forgotten bookshop in York. I mean, every reader wants to find a little forgotten bookshop, but there's all kinds of sort of secrets and things going on in there. Evelyn is escaping her life a little bit by going there. She's defying her family, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. I think it says when it is, what the date is of it. 1899. So it's a historical set book, but it feels very it feels like you're actually there. So it feels very contemporary, even though obviously it's set in the past. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I think if you're looking for a sort of a magical, bookish type story, there is a romance to it. Yeah, there's kind of a romantic enemies to lovers type thing in there, but then also the magic of books and the idea that when you walk in a bookshop you believe that anything could happen, and maybe it does. You will find out in this story. It is a debut. It's out on the 13th of March, this year. So it's well worth a pre-order if you're looking to treat yourselves. Absolutely fantastic. That is book number 3, The Lamplighters Bookshop by Sophie Austin. I found it really charming, really escapist in the best way, like just whisks you away. So especially the start of the year when you just need a little bit of an escape. I think you'll love it. I found the writing absolutely gorgeous. I found the characters fantastic. And again, it feels like another passion project, which is lovely to read. As a reader, it's lovely to read. As an author, it's lovely to see somebody just really going for it with the story. And it's absolutely beautiful writing. And I think it's going to be a big book this year. So there we go. That's book number 3, The Lamplighters Bookshop by Sophie Austin. Let's see what everybody's saying. Let's see. James says 3 on the list. Catherine says need and need. Carlton actually says yes, and yes. Good one. Glad you liked the selection. I thought you'd like the selection. A bit of everything this week. Lynn's Claire's here. Hello, lovely to see you. She says just in time for half term. It is. That's true. Half term becoming amazing. So many good ones. Let's see. Katie Wells says 3 books on my TBR list. So good. Suzanne Snow still with us. Hello, lovely to see you. It's so nice when we get viewers that will mention books that they're reading, and then the authors come and join in, which is fantastic. So welcome. Let's have a look. Samira says 3 sounds like a great story. Reminds me of The Story Collector by Evie Woods. Yes, that was it. I was trying to think what book it reminded me of. It's very much like that. So if you like The Story Collector, or The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods as well, then yeah, very much like that. And the kind of the setting sort of at the end of the 1800s and starting, so it's start of a new chapter, and it's kind of all the old conventions versus the new world that's coming, but then it's forgotten bookshop and what might be happening in there, and how these two people from completely different backgrounds who otherwise would not have met have to kind of learn to live with each other and maybe more. So we won't see, but yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Let me just have a drink. So good. Thank you for your lovely messages. There's so many lovely messages coming through. People seem to like, well, there's a good selection. There we go. I would recommend all of those books. They were all just fantastic to read. Really good way to start the year. I think this year is going to be a real cracker for books. I think there's some brilliant books that are coming in the next few months, actually through the year. So yeah, I need to write more books and sell more books so I can buy more books. Basically my life in a nutshell is like that. The only reason that I write books, right, is so that I can read other people's, which is all good. Okay, we've got 10 minutes, so it's time for the Book Warriors. Chapter 3. If you are new and you haven't been in before, this is a story that I started reading probably about a couple of years ago. I started writing it. I've decided this is the year that I'm going to finish it and submit it to publishers. It's different from other things that I've written. It is set in a bookshop at the midnight launch of a surprise 8th book in a series that the fans of this series didn't even know was coming. They'd all kind of like wanted it for ages, and then it's suddenly coming. So you buy it. The idea is that it's an event. You go to the bookshop, you buy the book at midnight, and then you basically are locked in the bookshop till 6 in the morning with all the other fans of the book fandom reading the book, which is fantastic. So first week we met Zoe Jones, who is the manageress of the cafe in City Books. So City Books is the bookshop it's set in. It's based on Waterstones in Birmingham, which if you've ever been, there's 6 floors of books. It's an incredible bookshop. She works in Bookbeam, but she wants to be a bookseller. But she's so good at her job that her manager won't send her over to the book team. So she's working in the cafe, but she's a massive fan of this series, so she doesn't mind that she's doing a stupidly long shift, because it means that she gets to get the book at midnight and read it with people that are reading that love the fandom in the same way that she does. Then last week we met AJ. AJ's brought his girlfriend Sarah, who says she's a fan, but he starts to think that maybe she's a fan of the kind of the merch and the world around it rather than actually the books, which he's read. First off, to kind of like to impress her, but then he's absolutely fallen in love with the series. And so she's miffed that she didn't get the right ticket. She doesn't really want to stay, but he does. So we heard from that last week. Now we're going to hear from Josie. Josie is a teenager. She's turned up with some of her friends who are all massive fans of the Mina Ulver books. They've turned up hoping that there are going to be cancellation tickets for this absolutely sold out event, and they're all waiting outside, and they're all dressed up as different characters, or they're in cosplay, and it's very cold. It's March, so it's very cold, and they're all waiting to get in. So this is chapter 3 of the Book Warriors. I knew I should have brought jumpers. I didn't think it was possible to feel this cold, but standing in this queue is an education. At least I'm near the doors, 3 from the front, and I would have been at the head of the queue if my stupid bus hadn't gone past my stop. My lungs are still stinging, an hour after the race across Birmingham to get here. The warm glow from City Books windows is within touching distance, and I'm willing some of the heat to pass through the glass and find my blue skin. The Mina Ulver books glitter in the window displays like Vranchan looted treasure. So beautiful they still steal my breath, even though I've read every one several times. Tonight the 8th book joins them. There's a copy wrapped in gold lame fabric at the centre of the 7. It probably isn't the book, of course. It said on the news that the actual books are embargoed until midnight. But from here on the frozen pavement, it might as well be the real thing. and it looks like it'll be the closest I get to book 8 tonight. We're meant to be waiting for cancelled tickets, but who are we kidding? Who, in their right mind, would cancel tickets to the Mina Ulva event of the century? Nobody. You'd drag yourself here with a broken leg. You'd bribe the ambulance driver to drop you off here instead of at the hospital. Nobody would willingly pass their ticket on to anyone else. Tonight is everything. It's why we're all here. 30 at least, I reckon, risking hypothermia and staring at the flimsy red rope keeping us from the front door, as if by our collective telekinetic powers we could melt it away. The door opens and a security guard ejects 3 pilgrims out to join us. They're letting customers in, but only if they go straight to buy something, and then they have to leave. They're checking for tickets, and if you don't have them, out you go. I almost braved it, thinking I could buy a couple of classics for school, but City Books is expensive, and I only have enough for a copy of Book 8. Mum halved my allowance this month because I broke her favourite vase, so my funds are limited. I couldn't even afford my fairy loot box this month. Dad promised to send me something from Toronto, but so far my bank account is ominously empty. He had another transatlantic row with Mum over FaceTime on Sunday night, and I think he's lying low for a bit. I don't blame him. Mum in a righteous rage could scare entire orc armies out of Middle-earth. I heard they might let us in at midnight, a unicorn-haired girl behind me squeaks. Who said that? The guy behind her looks at least 7 feet tall, but then everyone over my 5 feet 2 inches looks like a giant to me. I just heard. I think I just heard her teeth chattering. I wish I had her optimism, but an hour of standing still in inadequate clothing on a freezing cold street has all but destroyed my hope. I think they're leaving us out here to make it look like the event is huge. It's only when those queuing around me stare that I realise I said it out loud. They wouldn't do that, said Unicorn Girl, jutting out her chin. Why not? Asked Tall Guy. It's great PR. But they're City Books. They care about readers. They are our people. Bless your heart, they aren't. They're the city's biggest bookshop about to cash in on the book-selling event of the decade, and they don't care about readers who don't buy tickets. Nobody asked you. Right at that moment, I want to hug Unicorn Girl, and not just because the shared body warmth might benefit us both. Why shouldn't we believe that big bookshops are our friends? City Books is our place. It's where we go to escape the world outside its doors. It's where we are welcome, usually. Maybe they will let us in, I say, ignoring Tall Guy's loud tut. You keep believing. She's visibly shivering, so I hug her anyway. I might not be able to get her inside the shop, but I can make sure she doesn't freeze to death in the queue next to me. Thanks, she sniffs. I'm Amy, by the way. Josie, nice to meet you. It's so cold out here. I know. Did you get a hot chocolate earlier? She shakes her head. I thought we had to pay for them. By the time I realised they were free, everyone else had grabbed them. I look down at the takeaway cup in my hand, my last source of heat. Here, have mine. It's still warm. Her mouth drops open as she accepts it. Wow, that's so kind. You're like a Lucida Storm Warden when she gives her cloak to Patra Innis when they face the blizzard in the Galadin Mountains in Dreamwatch. And just like that, I'm warm again. Only this time it's from the glow inside my heart. Nobody has ever paid me a compliment so lovely. Lucida almost died when she did that, but Patra was closer to death, her spring-fay heart unable to cope in the blizzard. I cried bucket loads when I read that first scene, and it still slays me every time. Thanks, I say, but the word somehow seems too small. We're going to die out here. We're going to freeze to death into a line of hopeless Greek warriors denied access to nirvana. Tall Guy is looking a little blue around the lips, and I can see him shivering beneath his padded jacket. His smile says he's joking, but his eyes disagree. They'll let us in, I say gently. He might be a pessimistic giant with a questionable grasp of mythology, but he's only saying what we're all thinking. They just have to let the ticket holders in first. His eyes thank me. Do you think she knows? Unicorn Girl asks, her question sending puffs of chocolate-scented steam into the cold night air. Who? KM? This is how Mina Ulver fans refer to Gundren Universe's creator, never her surname, and just like other fandoms, devotees never call their author their name. We never call KM Kalinda. You just don't. She's KM, a friend, an ally, the reason you feel you belong. It makes us feel closer to her, even though we don't know her at all. It doesn't matter that she rarely gives interviews or that her verified Twitter and Insta feeds give very little away about her life. She's our KM, and we would go to the ends of the earth to read whatever she writes. Knows what? That we're here. Even Tall Guy is with us now. Is with us now. He hunkers down a little to listen because without realising, we've all lowered our voices. She must do. There are events like this all over the country. Have you seen the Mina8 hashtag? Bookshops everywhere with crowds of people outside. Do you think she might come? City Books is closest to her home. We know she lives in Stratford-upon-Avon because we've seen drone photos of her sprawling country estate near Shakespeare's hometown, and also because the Birmingham Mail insists on calling her best-selling Stratford writer K.M. Sampson every time they run a story about her. Nah, she might, Unicorn Girl insists. Wouldn't you want to see if it was your book? For a moment, I'm not freezing my extremities off in a queue. I'm standing in Cornerin, the endless summer world in my head that's slowly being braved onto a secret Word doc on my laptop. I want to be a writer more than anything. Every time I walk into City Books, I make the same silent promise. One day, it will be my book on these shelves. Would people risk hypothermia to queue in the cold for my books? In my best, hidden, wildest dreams, they might. I would, I say. It doesn't feel like so much of a risk, seeing as Tall Guy and Unicorn Girl are likely to forget this conversation as soon as we get inside, or freeze to death, whichever is sooner. I'd grab a disguise and queue up with everybody else to watch them buy my book. I'd be scared to watch. Tall Guy shrugs, and instantly I know he's a secret writer too. That explains the hope between a thin veil of cynicism. Maybe she's here tonight then, Unicorn Girl smiles, hugging her hot chocolate cup. If she is, I hope she busts us all in, a girl behind us says, and our laughter provides a tiny bit of warmth to fend off the cold. There's a cheer from the first line to our left, and the gold ticket holders begin to file into City Books. We watch with envy, finding solidarity with the regular ticketeers until they too are granted access to the bookshop. And then the doors close, and we're stuck, staring at the books in the window we can't quite reach, and the red velvet rope that might as well be a stone wall between Book 8 and us. Our line falls quiet. We're going to die out here, someone says behind us. I feel the drag of defeat pulling at my body. Even Unicorn Girl's smile fades. I sneak a glance at my watch. I'll give it till midnight and then I'll go. I just have to stay off every social media platform I'm addicted to until I can afford to come back into Birmingham to get my copy. And then a miracle happens. The door ahead of us opens and the woman who brought us hot chocolate earlier pokes her head out. Quick, come in, she says. Head straight for Bookbean and stay there. Hurry. We don't hesitate. The warmth and delicious book-laden smell of City Books surrounds us like a welcoming hug as we ticketless pilgrims run inside. I catch the grin of Tall Guy and Unicorn Girl as we dash up to the 4th floor, filling the sofas and comfy armchairs of the bookshop cafe like a ragtag bunch of grateful warriors plucked from the front line by the Dream Rebels in Book 6. Maybe KM is here looking out for us after all. There you go. Thank you very much for all your lovely messages. So good, so good. So good, so good. Alison says, I'm reading Every Move You Make by C.L. Taylor. Such a good book. Amazing. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, people are going for so if you have, just to recap, if you have a book that is ready, if you've written a first draft, Avon Books, so the Avon Books UK on Facebook. I think they're also that on the other social networks as well, so check them out. They've got an open submission from the 1st to the 31st of March, so get your stories in because they are accepting stories, full manuscripts from everybody. So whether you've got an agent or not, send it in. All good, all good. Quickly go through my books of the week. We're at the end of the hour. Where's that hour gone? Book number 1 this week is the absolutely gorgeous favourite book of the year so far, The List of Suspicious Things by Jenny Godfrey. Book number 2, is the incredible Give Him to Me by Dorothy Coombs, and that is out on the 13th of February. You can pre-order it now. That is a tense, nail-biting cat and mouse thriller written by one of the best in the biz, and I think you're going to absolutely love it. And then book number 3 is another debut, The Lamplighters Bookshop. It's out on the 13th of March. It's by Sophie Austin, and it's an absolutely gorgeous, magical story set in a forgotten bookshop. What's not to love, right? Thank you very much for your lovely company tonight, all your lovely comments. It's been lovely to hang out with you. That hour's gone so quickly. If you've missed any of the show, check out my YouTube channel, Miranda Wordy, on YouTube, where I'm going to post the show every Thursday. The video of the show goes up. It's also going to be on my Facebook page where you're watching the show now. So thank you for joining us. Next week, I am launching my Chatty 100 Flash Fiction competition, where you can win 6 months of mentoring with me. Also, we've got a giveaway. I forgot to mention the giveaway. Okay, right. Last minute, the giveaway. I am going to be sending out, I'm going to print out the opening chapters of my last 3 books, and I'm going to sign them for whoever wins. Okay, so if you want to win the opening chapters of my last 3 books, so Things We Do for Love, Start Something, and All My Love. If you'd like to be with a chance of doing that, just write yes please in the comments. I'm going to hold this open for like 2 more minutes. Write yes please in the comments. If you're watching on playback, write yes please in the comments. I will put everybody in the hat. And I'll put it up on the Facebook page as well. So if you've missed this bit, don't worry, I'll put it up as well. So if you'd like to win that, the opening chapters of Things We Do for Love, The Start of Something, and All My Love, signed by me for you, then all you need to do is write yes please. I can see my yes pleases coming in. Thank you. I almost finished the show. I forgot to mention it, but we got there in the end. It's all good. Thank you so much for your lovely comments, for all your questions. Thank you for telling me what you're reading. Thanks for everybody who's come tonight, everyone who's watching on catch up. Write yes please in the comments if you'd like to win that prize. And I will be back next week to do it all over again with more exciting stuff, and maybe even a book launch to tell you about as well. So take care, have a great week, and I will see you next Wednesday at 8 p.m. to do it all over again. Take care, see you soon, bye.